Welcome back. So, it was a quiet Tuesday until this afternoon when Kendrick Lamar finally decided to drop his long awaited diss, Euphoria. I don't think this is the diss that apparently he's been working on for 4 years. This is definitely something more of, I guess, another warning shot per se. I don't really know what's going on with that. So, it's really now a back and forth at this point. So, now how quick Drake is going to respond, I feel like he's going to respond very quickly. But this track is just 6.5 minutes of just a slugfest. You do get those little sneak disses slipped in there, all the way down to the cover. The reversed audio at the beginning, I just realized, or I found out that it's a reversed audio clip from, I believe it's a Wizard of Oz kind of movie with Michael Jackson. So you get that kind of sneak diss in there. You get the more blatant and more just upfront ones, like I hate the way you talk, I hate the way you dress. You also get the ones where Yachty, or you're clapping with Yachty to get swag when you don't have it. There's also ones where he feels cringeworthy or feels like he can't say the N word. There is the interesting lines of when he sees Drake and Sexy Red, he just sees two bad bitches. I find that very funny. But overall, like, this track has everything. It has a mix of everything, and it's a pretty good response. Now, I wanted to compare and contrast what everyone's thinking across the general scope of it. Now, I will preface this is album of the year, and I will definitely preface that I feel there's definitely a bias going on when it comes to the ratings that I have here. I just like using album of the year because it does condense the stuff a little bit better. So Euphoria is at a score of a 95. So pretty much a perfect diss record. Do I think it's perfect? No, I'll get into that very shortly. And Push Ups is sitting at 80%. So usually Drake is shitted on when it comes to album of the year. I don't know if you've been on the site, but he generally isn't well received. But Push Ups was well received, and I still really like that song. And out of these two songs, I'm definitely returning to Push Ups more, because Push Ups, as I said in my previous video, which got 1,000 views, I don't know how the hell people have found my channel. But as I was saying, that Push Ups really just exemplifies how Drake can make diss records and a hit record and put it all together to get something that is just incredibly catchy, incredibly addictive. And this song here, it went number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100. Would have went number one, probably top five, probably if it did go on streaming services immediately after it was released. Yes, probably it would have. But this Euphoria track is really causing a lot of conversations, and I think people kind of got spoiled by the Pusha T beef from 2018. That was also mentioned here, how Drake has not acknowledged the Pusha T beef that kind of has lived in Drake's discography for a good long time. Like, that diss, The Story of Adidon, like, that kind of impacted so many albums. And I think a lot of people, of course, focus on the money, focus on the accolades, and that's fine. But The Story of Adidon diss really kind of impacted his discography for a little while. So it is kind of interesting to bring out just like, why haven't you responded to this yet? And I know there was a thing saying that Jay Prince kind of knocked it down because it was way too far, but who knows at this point? I think it's probably scrapped. But where I sit in this beef right now, honestly, I think it's a tie with a slight advantage to Kendrick at this point. I think the disses in Euphoria are a little bit more biting, are a little bit more potent, and they are really, really aggressive. And not to mention, too, when you take the Like That verse from We Don't Trust You, that kind of counts as the hit record of this thing, where that song has about 200 million streams, and it's doing incredibly well still. But going back to Euphoria, I feel like there's some parts of the track that are a little bit unnecessary, or kind of just make the track just a little bit something I may not return to on a regular basis. Now, I think you have to discern the fact that all diss records are not going to be hit records. Drake has just been very good at making diss records hit records. So a lot of disses are really not meant sometimes to be played continuously or played on a constant rotation. But there is parts of this song that do feel a little bit odd or not really all that great to me. One part I can think of in particular is when the Pusha T lines start on Euphoria. I think the vocal cadence or the vocal flow that Kendrick takes on is a little bit just, I can't take it seriously. It's just like talk about Pusha P. Now, now about Pusha T. Like that particular part of the line, I can't really take it all that seriously. While it does acknowledge that again, Drake hasn't really like responded to that beef for a long time. It just makes the line a little bit goofier. And also to the last little bit of the song where it's like, we don't want you to say the N word no more. Kind of just as filler to end off the song. I feel like you could have ended off this diss a lot better. Maybe throw a couple more bars in there to make it just hit that much harder. And then there's the beginning part, which I actually really enjoy. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Heart Part 4, where it does start off a little bit slower, then you go into a beat switch. The first part, I honestly, it threw me for a loop because I thought it was just like, this is going to be the most mellow diss record I've ever heard. But the beat does switch up. It does sound very Baby Keem, Hillbillies inspired. So I feel like Kendrick is just in that zone right now. And that's kind of just a general synopsis of where I am. I think Kendrick is just the slightest bit ahead. And of course, Drake has the tailor-made freestyle, which is still pretty good. And Kendrick does acknowledge, is like, am I talking to ghostwriters, talking to AI, all that kind of stuff there too. So all the bases are being covered. Now, this is where the rap beef gets interesting, is who is going to provoke crossing the line first. So a lot of this talk has been about stuff either that has been discussed before, or it's stuff when it comes to publishing, comes to money, influences, ghostwriting, stuff we've honestly have heard before. So it's going to be interesting to see when and if this beef does go any farther into more personal stuff or stuff that is very revealing. Again, I was always saying at the beginning of this video, I feel like we got really spoiled with the Pusha T beef of how much information that we got. I don't know if I want like other people to be thrown into this because, man, this could get really ugly. But this is an exciting moment for hip hop. This is honestly, the rap for the past couple of weeks has been very dead. So I'm glad this kind of showed up because, man, we were in a lull for a little while. But here we are. And we will definitely see where this beef continues on from here. I know this is more of a ramble, but this is just my honest first reaction. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching this channel. Again, the last video got 1,000 views. I don't know how the hell you found my channel, but thank you for finding it. Subscribe. Maybe we'll talk about some more disses in the future. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.